What's up, y'all? This is Michael C. Views from the Trap, 2 ears, 1 mouth. Thank you for tuning in. Today's episode is gonna be a little different. It's not gonna be about photography or being a creative. It's about me this time, you know. Tell y'all a little bit about me, give y'all my rundown, give y'all my rap sheet, so to say, and get you some insight about me, opposed to me just throwing my work and what I do in your face without you knowing who the person is behind the camera. So, again, I'm Michael C. Some people call me Mick. Some people call me Mickey. I'm from Queens, New York. Queens Village, back streets to be exact. Started like this. My life was just like any other person, any other child growing up in the inner city, you know. I grew up in a 2-family household, brothers and sisters. Very strict family because, you know, Caribbean descent. So, you know, as long as I did what I had to do in school or just be a good kid, I basically got anything I wanted. You name it. Jewelry, clothes, toys, whatever, man. I was always up to date. My family is very well dressed. They come from that cloth of, you know what I mean, fine fabrics, and going to the mall back in the days and going to the Coliseum block, Jamaica Avenue back in the 80s and the 90s was like the thing, you know what I mean? The malls and stuff like that. So yeah, I was a fly kid, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. My parents kept me dipped up as long as I did, you know what I mean, what they asked me to do. But sooner or later that would stop, because, you know, like, hanging with friends and the influence of my friends and just wanting to be a part of something other than what my parents wanted was what I lusted for. So once I hit the streets, you know what I mean, like, school wasn't even an option for me after a while. I ain't even gonna lie. Once I get to junior high school, man, it was like, yo, you know, my parents is buying me stuff and everything like that, but I had to get it when they felt I can get it. So, you know what I mean, when I wanted sneakers and shit like that, you know what I mean, I had to be good in school and all types of shit. So I'm like, man, this shit ain't, nah, man, I need this shit now, man. These niggas motherfuckers is coming to school, fly every fucking day, different, switching up, and I gotta wait to get fly? Nah, not with that. So, you know, I started smoking weed at like 14, 15 years old, type shit, hanging with a crowd of friends. Let me tell you something. I was a follower, and as a grown man now, I can easily say that I was a follower. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to do what my friends did. I wanted the acceptance. You know what I'm saying? I was the kid that was willing to do whatever. I had an ice grill all day, so it was a facade to keep people away from me and to appear tough and shit like that. I ain't no slouch now, but I never liked to fight, you know, as much as I fighting and shit like that I would do, and shooting and shit like that, man. That was never my style. After I would leave and go home, I'd be like, damn, that shit was whack. Or I was scared of death, you know what I'm saying? Every fight I ever got into, I would be scared, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, like, I was a follower. I can easily admit that, but I just wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be cool, man, you know what I mean? And it worked for the most part. It worked, you know what I'm saying? Started hanging out with my friends, and we smoking weed. We beating other kids up and robbing them for shit like that. And eventually, all that shit turned into me getting locked up. Like, I think out of my friends, I was like the first one, or you know what I'm saying, to start getting locked up at an early age. Spofford, you know what I'm saying, like getting locked up and going to Spofford and shit like that. And man, once I got a taste of Spofford, bro, that shit was like a different world. I've never met kids my age. You know what I mean? Like, you read about it in the paper or you watch it in the news or something like that, but I've never met kids my age, 14 years old, facing murder. You know what I'm saying? And you hear some of the shit that these kids was going through, man. You know what I mean? I'm never forget this kid, man, I was locked up with. He had to have been like 15 years old, 14, 15 years old. Man, he shot a cop in Staten Island, bro. And, you know what I mean, the way that the world perceived him and the way that, you know what I mean, people approached him and they were scared, you know what I mean, of this kid. But when you start talking to these kids and they basically become your family, because, you know what I mean, they either sleeping next door to you, you playing cards with them, you watching TV with them, you know what I mean, we doing everything locked up together. They basically become your family. So I start taking on to these young murderers, like these young killers and all type of shit like that, man. And I'm like, yo, this is a different world. But then it started getting fun. So I would make like 2-3 trips to Spofford. I would do 2 months here, come out, do another month here, come out, do another, and it was like that back and forth, and I wasn't scared of it no more. So it became a part of my life. And then the juvenile shit turned into me doing some juvenile time upstate in DFY. You know, while all my friends is on the streets and shit like that, I'm my dumb ass locked up upstate. You know what I'm saying? As a youngin', you know what I'm saying? Young kid, man. And that shit just, I ain't learned shit. So when I came home from being upstate in DFY, you know what I mean, you got that jail stigma on you. Like, yeah, you know, you got your little weight up and shit like that. You know what I mean? Got my little brolic on and shit. Came home, females starting to feel a nigga a little more. Niggas starting to respect me even more. So, you know what I mean? I'm running with that shit. And for the most part, I loved it. You know what I mean? Man, that shit is not cool at all now that I'm thinking about it. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, at that moment, it was dope. You know what I'm saying? So jail was a major part of my life. Boosting just to get fly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was a nigga in my hood that I was known for dressing nice. You know what I'm saying? And at most times, I'll be dressing nice because of over shit that I boosted and shit like that. But I ain't have $1 in my pocket a lot of times, man. I be fresh to death, brand new shit, pop tags on everything, and be chilling on the block with niggas with no money in my fucking pocket. But I was willing to do whatever, though. You know what I mean? We fighting, we fighting niggas over here. Boom. We going to a club and we getting drunk and we getting high. And we jumping niggas. We fighting the whole club. Boom. I'm doing that. Oh, niggas is fronting. Yo, pass me the gun. I'ma shoot that. Boom. You know what I mean? I was labeled as that to a point where, when things started happening around me and my friends, you know, like, at times, niggas would look to me to do the most violent shit first. You know what I'm saying? And I was okay with that because I knew I played a position in the role that I was comfortable with. You know what I mean? I did the hustling thing, you know what I'm saying? And I would never disrespect real drug dealers and be like, yeah, I was a drug dealer. I did the hustling thing. I wasn't good at it. It wasn't fast enough for me. I sold weed. I sold crack. I sold coke. The money just wasn't coming in fast enough for me than me grabbing a gun sometimes and going to go stick somebody up or me taking some shit. You know what I mean? Like, and as I got older, I realized that me taking shit was just me being a hater. For me to take something from somebody that they probably worked hard for or their parents probably gave to them, I was a hater. You know what I'm saying? And I can easily admit that right now, but boy, at the moment, was it fun. You know what I'm saying? So then, me graduating from, while most kids was graduating high school and shit like that, I was graduating from DFY to next step Rikers Island. Let me tell y'all niggas something, man. If any nigga tell you his first time on Rikers Island, he wasn't scared, he's a fucking liar. I don't give a fuck who you shot. I don't give a fuck who you killed, stabbed, whatever the fuck, how many bricks you sold, my nigga. Once you step on that Rikers Island, my nigga, for the first time, man, that feeling of not knowing is the most scariest thing ever. You know what I mean? OBCC, 2 lower. That's where I was located at. And, you know, for the most part, I didn't walk in there with no ice grill on my face and no shit like that. You know what I mean? I just walked in there regular because I figure, you know what I mean, if I'm a cool nigga on the streets, I'll be a cool nigga here, and that's how I go down. And for the most part, that's how it went down. You know what I mean? But my first day on Rikers Island, I can tell you this, man. If anybody been on Rikers Island who listens to this shit, in the house I was in, there's 3 phones, and they label it like this. There's a black phone for the black people, there's a Spanish phone for the Spanish people, Latin people, should I say, and there's a neutral phone for, you know what I mean, for the neutral, for the carry-on niggas, you know what I mean? Like, yo, y'all figure that out with that time on that shit. And each phone got slot time, and whoever's running the house, according to groups, You know what I mean? They assign the slot time. So you got from 7:30 to 8 o'clock, or you know what I mean, shit like that. Boom. So me not knowing nothing, and I'm coming from Queen's house, I see a phone. As soon as I walk in, I'm like, I gotta call my moms. I gotta let my peoples know that I'm alright. I just made the Rikers Island. Boom. I get on the phone, and I get on the Spanish phone, not knowing that it's a Spanish phone. Oh, I'm on the phone. Boom, boom, boom. I do my 1-2. Tell my family I'm alright. Whatever. I just made to Rikers Island. There's a dude standing right next to me, a Spanish dude, ponytail, long hair, ponytail, and all that. He lets me rock on the phone, lets me finish my conversation. Now, as soon as I hang the phone up, he was like, yo, that's a Spanish phone. Just like that. So I'm like, all right, so we about to get into it. But I don't know why, but I want to know why. I'm like, what you mean, Spanish phone? He's like, yo, that's the black phone over there. This is a Spanish phone. Don't touch that phone. I said, what? He said, that's the black phone right there. This is the Spanish phone. Don't touch this phone. And then he walked off. So when he walked off, I'm baffled. I'm puzzled. I'm thinking to myself, like, what the fuck just happened? So I go to my bed. I sit down on my bed. 2 black dudes come up to me. Like, yo, what he said to you? So I'm like, oh, these niggas trying to line me up. I don't know what's going on. I'm thinking everybody trying to be against me. So I'm like, what? They're like, nah, what homeboy said to you? I was like, yeah, he told me that was a Spanish phone. Don't touch that phone. They was like, boom, this how it's going to play out. We going to go back there. We going to let him know you with us. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you want to shoot the Spanish dude a one-on-one, or for what he said, if you felt disrespected, we going to line that up for you right now in the bag. If you going to eat that and just let it rock, you know what I mean? Because obviously he didn't put his hands on you, nothing like that. You know what I mean? Now you know the rules. You can go about it that way as well. How you want to play it. And I would never forget what one of the black dudes said to me, man. He was like, yo, bro, I see it on your face that you puzzled, like you don't know what the fuck going on. Yo, bro, if you want to fight the nigga, that's cool. If you don't want to fight the nigga, that's cool too, because it don't make you pussy because the nigga didn't put his hands on you. You know what I'm saying? Had he put his hands on you, then you obligated to take care of that. So he was like, yo, dude, if you don't want to fight my nigga, you don't gotta fight, nigga. You still rocking with us. I'm like, yo, dude, I don't even want to fight because I don't know what the fuck. I don't know how the rules go. But now that I know the rules, you know what I'm saying, I'll move accordingly. They was like, boom, don't worry about it. Plus, I had a little size on me, too, so them niggas knew I wasn't no punk or nothing like that, so. But, that's a quick little story about Rikers Island. But, man, my heart was scared to death, bro. And even all the tough shit I did on the streets and all that, shooting niggas from across the street and shooting up projects and shit like that, that shit ain't hold no weight amongst these niggas that will put something that they made and stick it inside your body at any given fucking time. So, yeah, I survived that. I don't want to get into a whole long story about that, about jail, but I survived that, came home. You know, years later, I had a daughter, Milan, my beautiful daughter, Milan. Love her to death. And that was the changing of my life right there. You know what I mean? That's when she was born, I was still broke. Still had to figure shit out. I'm still stealing Similac just to feed her and shit like that. My daughter's mother had a job at the time. She was the one holding my broke ass down. And yeah, that's how that went for a couple of years of my daughter's life. You know what I mean? I was still trying to figure it out, and my daughter's mother holding us down. And then one day, me and my daughter's mother got into an argument, and this shit changed my life, bro, forever. We got into a serious argument. And basically, she was like, yo, you's a bum-ass nigga, you's a broke-ass nigga, you ain't got shit, my nigga. And usually when we argue, you know, we going back and forth. I'm saying shit, she's saying shit. But this one time, she said this shit to me, my nigga, and I didn't cry in front of her, but I felt like it, bro, like, because it was so fucking true. It was so true when she said that shit. To a point where I was like, yo, you know what? I will never, ever allow any woman or anyone to ever call me some shit like that again. Ever. And I made it my business, man. I was like, yo, from this day forward, I'm gonna figure something out, man. I put myself in a school like an auto school to fix trucks and shit like that. At the same time, I'm going to school. I'm working overnight at Toys R Us. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure life out even more. Boom, boom, boom. Caught another job at AAA. You know what I'm saying? Caught another job after that in the city. And then I just kept on with jobs and kept on working, figuring shit out, and being able to support myself and support my daughter, man. And it basically, I can end it here almost like, it basically just brought me to like, yo, I'm a creative nigga. I used to love to draw when I was a kid. I did music. And, you know what I'm saying? I always had an eye for certain things. So I was like, yo, photography, I love photography. My cousin he was into cameras and shit like that, and he bought his first camera before me, and then I always was intrigued by that, so I was like, yo, let me get a camera too, man. And I'm at where I'm at right now, man. And I can say this, that everything that I just spoke about briefly is what led me to being a photographer, and molded my style of photography, and molded my style of art, and how I look at things, and how I view things, how I want people to portray me and my art. It's through all those bad experiences, which are pretty good experiences now, because, you know what I mean, I'm one of the few that can say this, that being locked up so many times and shit like that shit saved my life, because I know that somebody would have hurt me, or I would have hurt somebody. Because I'm not one of them motherfuckers that could walk the streets thinking that I could beat up everybody on this earth. No, what keeps me alive is knowing that whatever I can do to somebody, it can be done to me. And I'm very much aware of that. You know what I mean? I know I'm not Superman. I know if I could punch somebody in the face, they could punch me in the face. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never been knocked out, and I ain't trying to feel that shit. You know what I'm saying? Word, man. These motherfuckers are, nigga, you not going YouTube me. Tell you that shit, nigga. Niggas is 3 deep, 5 deep. You got it, homeboy. You know what I'm saying? What you want? My wallet? Take that. You got a gun? And you got the drop, nigga, I'm not fighting you for no gun unless my daughter's involved, or, you know what I'm saying, and I got to get, we got to have this, nigga. But if it's just me, one-on-one, and you got that ratchet on me, and I can see that I can't take it from you, like, you know what I mean? Because I ain't gonna let a nigga rob me or put a gun to me real close. You know what I mean? I'm gonna try to reach for that. But if you know what you're doing, because niggas who know what they're doing behind that gun, they know to give you a little distance, so, you know what I mean, you just can't jump on them. Nigga, you can have that, bro. And that goes for any nigga that's listening, anybody that's listening, man. Your life ain't worth no shit that you can buy back. Take that to heed, man. Take that and live with that, bro. You know what I mean? That gangster shit, man, that shit is played out. I ain't never have so much fun once I started living my truth and started living that. You know what I mean? I'm not this tough guy, nigga, that I always tried to be. But one thing I can say, I ain't for the bullshit. You know what I mean? I ain't no tough guy, but I ain't the one for the bullshit. I ain't no pushover. You're not gonna fuck with me like that. But, man, women started embracing me more. I started being more funnier, more livelier when I was being myself, man. And living in my truth, you know. So this is a little brief little story about who I am, my background, and where I come from, and the things that I've been exposed to, you know. And hopefully somebody listen to this and they learn from this, and they know that, you know what I mean. You ain't gotta live like that, bro. You can still be that cool. That cool fly nigga that everybody accepts without having to portray some tough guy shit. But you don't gotta be a punk neither. I ain't telling you to be no punk, but you know what I mean? Certain shit, man, as a man, you gotta be willing to die for. You know what I mean? And that's just that. Straight up. Yo, this is Michael C. Views from the Trap. 2 ears, 1 mouth. Peace.